Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, celebrating 21 years of professional broadcasting. And to some of the pictures you sent to our Eyewitness portal, first is this one from Yobe and Mekuku along Owerri-Umahia Highway, showing a bad road. Our Eyewitness reporter wants the government to repair this road. We also have this one from Akiola area of Ibadan-Ife Highway. Our Eyewitness reporter is asking the government to try to fix this road as well. Well, this picture was sent from a road junction in Festac Town area of Lagos State. Our Eyewitness reporter says this road has been abandoned for a long time now, and he's calling on the authorities to pay more attention to it. And this picture was sent in from Ibono area of Osogbo, the Osun State capital. Our Eyewitness reporter wants concerned authorities to kick against street trading in the state. And this one came in from Akbombo Bridge here in Lagos State, showing young girls with babies strapped to their backs, accosting other road users. Our Eyewitness reporter says street begging has assumed an appalling state in the state, and that the authorities should stop it. We want to thank you so much indeed for sending in those pictures, as we ask that you keep them coming. Hundreds of people have been rendered homeless after a rainstorm descended on Jakusco town of Yobe State, northeast of Nigeria. The torrential rains, which has been persistent in the past few days, has also destroyed farmlands, including foodstuff. Residents say that the attendant consequences of the rain need immediate assistance to alleviate their sufferings.
Jakusco, a rich agricultural settlement, is the capital of Jakusco local government area of Yobe State, northeast Nigeria. The prayer was said for rains to fall, and when it fell, residents of Jakusco got more than what their supplications sought. The eventual deluge destroyed more than 200 homes, forcing residents out of their dwellings, and did not spare farmlands or foodstuff. Residents are appealing to government and non-governmental organizations for assistance.
Water has completely taken over everything. Our homes, nowhere to lay our heads. Our foodstuff have been destroyed, and there is no greater disaster than this. We are calling on anyone, government or individuals, to come to our aid with whatever they have: cement, money, food, or any item that we can assist our families with.
The State Commissioner of Women Affairs, Hajara Lawan, is here to see things for herself, and like the residents, is also appealing for help from the government at all levels, as well as organizations and public-spirited individuals.
They lost a lot of houses, only that we are grateful to Almighty Allah. There is no loss of life. Not only government, philanthropists, NGOs, anybody who feels he can help them should come and help these people.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has pitched in with the commencement of an assessment tour of the flood area to appraise the level of the destruction with a view to alleviating their sufferings. The team, along with some community leaders, have visited several destroyed homes. Mr. Nahuta Abubakar is the acting field coordinator of NEMA in Yobe State.
As you can see right behind me, a collapsed building with flooded areas. We were together with the chairman of the local government and the district head, where we called on them to tell their people to clear all drainages and all waterways to avoid further occurrence of flood.
The people of Yobe, like most of their northeast counterparts, have suffered displacement over the years due to the Boko Haram insurgency and are at the moment homeless again because of the activities of the flood. Double trouble, you might say. They wait to see how quickly help will be sent to alleviate their plight.
In the meantime, in a bid to avoid the dire consequences of extreme flooding, the Benue State government and its Kwara State counterpart have identified efforts aimed at mitigating the negative impact of flooding in their respective states. In Benue State, north-central Nigeria, The governor, Mr. Samuel Ortom, has directed sanitation agencies, residents and traders at the Wurukum market to clean up all blocked drainages in the surrounding environment. The state governor, Mr. Samuel Ortom, gave the directive while on an inspection tour of flood-prone areas and other projects within the state capital, with a view to enlisting citizens and enlightening citizens and asking them to participate in environmental cleanliness. And in Kwara State, the government has been engaging in sensitizing the communities on the likely effect of not moving out of the flood-prone areas.
Governor Samuel Ortom and members of his cabinet are out on the streets of Wurukum, one of the flood-prone areas of the state, to engage with the people on the need for environmental cleanliness. The team inspects the level of blockages on the water channels with a view to remedy the situation ahead of the flood threats in 11 states, including Benue.
We are committed to ensuring that we have a year free flood. If we take this precaution, I think there will be no need to go and establish camps again for people.
From the north-central state to another north-central state, this time Kwara. Obo Road in Ilorin East Local Government and the Saladumo community. Year in, year out, these communities feel the impact of flooding badly, as most of the houses are built on the riverbank. Some landlords and their tenants have already left their homes. Nearly 50 villages could be affected by the flood in Patigi, More and Edu local governments. These actions are coming days after the Nigerian Meteorological Agency declared that from August to October this year, 11 states, including Benue, will experience severe floods as their various soil moistures had reached or are close to saturation. The agency, in its 2016 seasonal rainfall prediction, had stated that while many parts of Nigeria would experience lower than normal total rainfall due to the effect of El Nino, flooding could still be experienced in such areas, specifically those that were naturally prone to it.
Joining me on the news at 10 to discuss the flooding situation is an expert on geoinformation, Professor Ademola Omojola, a professor of geography he is. Indeed, I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on the news at 10. 11 states were predicted by NIMET, the government agency, that this year will experience so much rainfall. Give us a geographical feel and understanding of where this is taking us to.
Sometimes we think these things are not really, let me put it, it's well known. The predictions of climate change, in fact, emphasize the fact that even rainfall in, amount will increase in the savanna regions, whereas even in the southern part that it would decrease a little bit. But the thing is that the intensity in some cases, it's well known that the intensity too will change. But in this case, when we are even having so much rainfall, and because the rainfall will accumulate over a certain period, and then the ground can no longer soak up or mop up the volume of water that is coming, then they will result into runoff. And it's because the antecedent precipitation index is like 0, it can hold nothing. And then the land use practices we even engage in, we keep forgetting we're holding those ones to be static. The land use practices are highly dynamic, and the way we use land, we are still very spontaneous about it. So we need to really do more about control and about finding, it's a way of adjusting. Flood is another risk. And for any risk, it's a function of the hazard itself, which is caused by rainfall, the vulnerability, and then the adaptive capacity. Then, because the vulnerability needs to be well understood too. not just the hazard itself alone, and then the adaptive capacity of the people.
Let's talk about the people. The government agency in Eyewitness had already advised that state governments should try to create channels that will move these waters to the larger body, the ocean, for example. Do you think that the government necessarily have to do this, or is there any other approach they can adopt to try to protect lives?
I think they have to do that, because when you are even doing all those things at the local level, one thing we've not been getting so much right is that we always think it should come from the top. NIBET has been doing its job very well, but what about the capacity at the local level?
What should they be doing there?
They should really, in fact, there's, risk is a function of your location. All this environmental risk. You should, by now, we should have a flood risk map of the country. So at what intensity, at what point should you move these people, and where are those safe points to move them? We shouldn't be spontaneous all the time. We know it will come. Everybody knows that all this flooding will continue. It's the new normal. And if it's the new normal, what are we doing about the new normal? So we should be prepared. We don't have to be waiting every year. We should have a blueprint of how to respond.
How does remote sensing, an area you are very strong in, how does remote sensing come into play in helping people get informed and mapping out, as you say, just to be on the safe side?
Yeah, in this case, because of the flood events, not even every remote sensing sensors can even peak because of the cloud cover at this point in time. But the thing is that from remote sensing, you can get a very good inventory of those areas that may, the properties that may be affected at the same time. Not with remote sensing alone, with allied technologies like geographic information systems, you can get it's a function of topography. And then if you know that some areas are prone, by mapping them out, you have to, there's no way, mapping the flood risk is the most important thing now.
So what should you advise the government?
We don't have to wait too long. We need to, even climate change, adjustment or adaptation is at the local level. If adaptation is at the local level, then we must understand the local level very well. The totality of the local level, how it is, what are the things that the local areas are prone to, what is the kind of adaptive capacity the people will have, because if you are rich sometimes you don't feel all those things. You can easily move your things back and forth. You can even build in such a way that it won't collapse. So because if you are not rich, if you are poor, mud houses won't withstand anything, whereas some very heavy concrete houses may withstand. So we need to understand all these things.
Professor Ademola Omojala, a professor of geography, I want to thank you so much indeed for sharing your thoughts with us here on the News at 10.
Thank you very much.
And still ahead on the News at 10, Nigeria once again grapples with eradicating the polio virus with the emergence of new cases in Borno State. We're joined on this bulletin by Dr. Adeshina Adiga, the head Immunology, Virology Research Group, National Institute of Medical Research. Join us again.